everybody. Welcome to an evening edition of Nikki Nights. Even though it's Nikki Nights, I'm usually film it during the day. But tonight it's Labor Day weekend, and I just wanted to have a chat with I wanted to introduce you guys to my best friend. I know that you guys get to meet a lot of different guests on this show, as do I. I get to meet and chat with a lot of incredible people. But I wanted to give you guys a chance to meet somebody who I think is just incredible because she saves my life on the daily. She's my best friend, my confidant, and she's an incredible actress who I met on the set of the last movie Star. We both worked on together with the incredible late, great Burt Reynolds, who was her mentor. So we're going to bring in my best friend, Amy Hoerler. Good evening, ma'am.
Oh, hi, Nikki. Oh, look, it's my best friend, Nikki.
It is. Guys, this is literally how every morning when Amy and I get on FaceTime, I go, oh my, it's my best friend, Amy.
It's true, though, right?
It is.
And it's so cool because we have become best friends over the course of the 2 years that we've known each other. But this summer has been absolutely amazing in the regard that we actually have this bond, this complete connection. It's amazing. It's so cool. And so it's been a really weird summer, but it's also been a really good summer in a way. So
agreed. It's there's been pros and cons to this.
Pros and cons, tragedy and comedy.
Yes, the theme of my life. But it's the summer that I've learned a lot, and I've learned a lot about the people in my life, and I learned that you really are my partner in crime, my sidekick, my bestie, like true and true. And so we met, oh my God, years ago now, like 4 years
ago. Nikki, you know what? I can't even believe how long ago the last movie Star was. I really have to think about that. That was we shot that in 2017. Is that right?
Was it, or was it 16?
God, I don't even remember.
It's like it's a blur.
It's a blur. Yeah.
We got to work. What an amazing cast we got to work with. I'll just like ramble off a few names: Ariel Winter, Chevy Chase, Clark Duke, Eller Coltrane. But the cast was led by your mentor, my friend, just the iconic, the legendary Burt Reynolds.
Oh my God.
I know. And today, it was interesting, Ames. I woke up this morning and I was just, sometimes you just feel like you're like, today's a little off and you don't know why.
Yeah.
And it's weird. I've noticed throughout my life, like whenever I have that feeling when I wake up, I'm like, today's going to be a little weird and I don't know why. It's usually because it's the anniversary of a death of somebody important in my life. And it usually happens on my grandfather's anniversary or my grandmother's. But today something was off and I was just feeling a little blah. And all of a sudden somebody was like, it's the 2-year anniversary of Burt passing. And then it all made sense.
Yeah.
How have you been?
Oh God, that's such a hard day. 2 years ago, getting the call. I remember getting the call. I even have it still on my voicemail. Douglas leaving me a message. Call me now.
Yeah. I mean, because how long did you study under Burt?
Oh, geez, Nick. It was several years.
Because he had the Burt Reynolds Institute down in Florida where he taught.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I mean, can you just tell us how you got that audition process like?
Yeah, no. Normally the process is, you audit the class for several weeks and which, I did audit the class for a very short time. But it was cool because Todd, who was leading the improv classes, I remember signing up for the improv classes, and I didn't think much of the Burt Reynolds Institute being led by actually Burt Reynolds.
Yeah.
but it was. And it was like, what? Yeah. So I just thought, oh, that's kind of a cool namesake, right? So after I found out that he was teaching, and Todd said, you're really good at the improv, and you should maybe audit Mr. Reynolds' class. And this was when Mr. Reynolds was Mr. Reynolds, and and so I did. I audited a couple classes, and then I remember him pointing to me, and I was like, and he's like, yeah, I hear you're good at improv. And I'm like, oh God,
Yep.
do I say anything? And he's like, why don't you do some improv for us? And he assigned me to one of the master acting class students to do a scene, like an improv scene, get place scenario,
Mm-hmm.
all this stuff. I must have done really well, Nikki. I don't remember anything. Everything went blank, right? And I'm standing up there, and then he's laughing and he's clapping, and there's this welcome to class, and then there's and my friend Cliff was like, "You just got into master class," and I was like, "No, I didn't. I what?" Like I almost peed. I was so excited. That
Yes.
was very exciting. That was very exciting, Nikki. But
When I got the call that I was going to work with him, I was like, no way.
yeah, right?
It just, I mean, and
It
you got to study under him, and then we both got to get to know him, which
Yeah,
that's what was so cool was,
that's what was cool.
we saw the legend behind the Bandit and Deliverance and all of these incredible movies, but then to get to meet the man and get to know him
And get
and
to know him, like
the
for
stories.
him. Yeah. And he was always so humble, and he was always so kind. That's one thing I really miss about Bert, is he was very encouraging. He always told me, he goes, "Kid, I want you to keep going. Do not quit." And he made me promise, and I, to this day, that kind of ruminates in my mind, like, all right, this is tough, but I got to remember what Bert said. And I know it actually came from his heart, like what he was saying to me, because he was true. He was very honest, Nikki. That's one thing I remember about Bert. And he was very generous with his time,
Yes. I
and
remember on
yeah.
set, he called me one morning. I'm walking to my trailer, excuse me, and I hear Nikki, and so he waves me over to his trailer, and I walk in, and he's sitting there signing Bandit memorabilia and all of this memorabilia, and he would just sign it and give it to cast and crew as a thank you for working
Yeah.
and giving so much of their time. So when you're surrounded by actors of that quality and like people of that quality, like who just give so much of themselves,
Yeah.
it encourages you to be better, and it
Yeah.
brings you
That's
to another level of for yourself.
Yeah, and that's what I'm left with. I think, Bert actually passed that on to me, and I think that he passed that on to everyone he met, just to be a better person,
Yeah.
be a good person, an honest, you know, person, somebody that, shows people respect, and also helps people. I think that's an important legacy that he left. So I always try to pay it forward as well. So, and I have to say, Nick, I think one of the best things that ever came out of that whole experience was obviously meeting you through being cast through, let's just put it there, Mr. Adam Rifkin. He's the one who, basically tied us all together, really,
Yeah, and
with
he's
his
going to be
fabulous.
coming up on this show. I'm so excited.
Yeah, yeah. Rifkin is a good guy.
He is.
Just
There's a
a
lot
man.
of, I've worked with a lot of directors,
Yeah,
and they've all made, an impact on my life in different ways. But after working with Adam, I
yeah,
really saw a director he treated Bert and the rest of us with such a kind hand,
yeah,
a very guiding,
yeah.
warm man. And it was so nice to work with somebody who just, he was so open and let us be creative.
Yeah, you know what? I think that comes from the fact that he was an actor as well, you know? So I think that actually makes a big difference too, a
Sure.
lot of time, because then, you know, then the director understands the actor in a different capacity than if it's just maybe a director
Right.
who never had that experience of being an actor. So kind of gives you, I think, maybe a little bit more insight. I could be wrong. I don't know. I don't know.
No, sure. It brings you in touch, I think it heightens your feelings.
I
And
think,
when you cuz you're I think a director who's acted and directed can probably look at a scene from two different angles. And
yeah,
I was watching a Barbara Streisand documentary recently.
I love her.
Because you don't even know. Oh, you do know because
I
I
do
called her right after. Let's be
know.
honest. And I was like,
I did
Barb,
remember that phone call. You're like, ah, Barbara.
I
I was,
mean, nothing gets me jazzed in life more than don't tell me not to live, just sit and putter. Don't get me started. So I was watching Barbara and I saw her talk about how she looked at things as an actress, but then she was talking about directing and how she saw movies through a different lens, through a director's lens. And I find that so interesting. As an actress, would you ever want to direct or produce?
I mean, I would be open to it. Absolutely. Right now I'm just trying to act. Let's just,
You
let's
and me
just,
both, sister.
right? I mean, we just, well, but we are working on things. So it's good. Knock on wood. Knock
Yeah, I think what the quarantine has taught people, for me, it's make use of your time
Yeah.
and try.
Oh my goodness. I am so proud of you, girl. I mean, geez, you've written a book, you do a podcast, and I'm sitting here going, this girl.
I just,
Look at
I
her.
love my schedule stacked. Like when I'm on set and I'm working 18 hours a day, I'm my happiest.
I know this. You're like one of the hardest working women in showbiz today. I tell you that right now. It's
I
true.
I just know, I know for the first time in a very long time after coming out this summer and kind of letting that go free and really coming into like my own, and I'm like, you know
Yeah.
what? I'm going to follow every dream. I'm going to write everything I want to write. And if people don't like it, it's just like throwing
It's
things
been,
at the wall and seeing what sticks. We'll see what
yeah.
sticks.
And it's been amazing to see you on this journey, Nikki. I mean, it really has, because I have seen the progression. Like it's like do, 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 you
But I
know?
have to tell you, I don't think I would be at such a positive place in my life without a friend like you.
Well, you're my best friend too. So
Right. But I have to say there were some parts this summer, you guys, in, personal life and other things where I found myself pulling out the Kleenex and I needed that and my best friend more than ever. And you were there
aw,
for like 7 hours a day on FaceTime when I couldn't sleep and I couldn't eat. You were there. And
look,
I appreciate that
this
more
is
than you know.
friendship. This is what a friend does, you know. I really believe that. I think that there's friends that you meet in life that you just click with, and that are are always simpatico. You know what I mean? Like it
Well,
just is.
we were talking today about getting
That's
to know
me.
your friends, right?
Yeah.
And we were, you guys were talking about some of our favorite things. And I think for the
Oh yeah.
first time, Amy questioned our friendship.
No, I didn't. Let's be fair. Didn't question it, but I was very shocked at some of these answers. I
Okay,
was
so
very,
we were talking about likes and dislikes, and we were talking about our go-to, like what would be our dream Halloween candy bag, like what's
Yes.
in that. When I said what my favorite thing that I've ever gotten in my Halloween candy bag, when I told you what it was,
Yeah.
the look on your face was one of disappointment and shock.
I really was disappointed. I was like, why though? Why is this even coming out of your mouth? Why are you telling me these things? It's almost verboten that you would mention some of these candies. And I use the term candies loosely. Okay, that's my opinion. I mean, I don't need these candy candy companies coming after me. Okay, I'm more chocolate based. I get that. I get that. You, however, you like candy. You you like Jolly Ranchers, but not the green Jolly Ranchers.
No.
Not the green Jolly Ranchers.
No.
You also like Tootsie Rolls.
Yes.
You like the flavor Tootsie Roll.
The fruit. Do we remember what flavor is the favorite?
You like Starburst. You like the pink Starburst the most.
Yes.
And I'm like
3 for 3. When Amy heard this, I was like, and I really like the lime.
I was
like, I love the lime fruit chews that you get in the. She was like, "Who eats that?"
Who though? You would have scored, like if you went to every house that had these candies. That would have been the leftover candy that people didn't grab,
and it would have been my dream come true.
You would have totally made out like a bandit.
I did, because on Halloween I used to sit there with my brother and we would trade, and I would always get the fruit chew. I don't know what it is about a fruit chew, but I love it.
I mean, I guess it's fine. There are chocolate wars, and then there are
candy horse.
Yeah. But honestly though, Nick.
But then today I ate something that also freaked you out.
Oh my God. Like, why I was eating the ice cream. We were talking about chocolate, and then I prompted me to go and get the rest of my ice cream.
Naturally.
Which is amazing, because Baskin Robbins, I'm just saying, world-class chocolate. All right, it's my favorite flavor.
It's her favorite flavor.
Not knocking any other chocolate-based ice cream.
But this one is world-class.
World-class? And then Nikki's like, oh, that looks good. Oh, I want ice cream now. All right. So then she runs in the kitchen, and she pulls out this like fancy cup, and it's, oh, what is that? Oh, why is it green? Oh, it's green. It's Jell-O? Lime flavored?
It was pistachio.
Pistachio. That's even worse. That's right. That's what it was. And I sat there and I was like, but why though? It's not like the rest of the Jell-O sold out, I mean, it's the last of the last, it's like really the end of the world.
I'm telling you, in middle school, I had a teacher, Dean, I forget his last name, Dean, I really forget, but he was a very tall guy, and he used to come up to me, and he used to say, there's a green Jell-O girl. That's how I was known in middle school, was a green Jell-O.
That's how you were known?
Yes, he was like, you're the only person that I've ever seen eat green Jell-O every day. And I was like, what can I say? I love green Jell-O. I love green things. Mint chocolate chip, my favorite ice cream flavor.
Okay, that gets past it. It has chocolate in it.
Okay, see, we can agree.
We can agree on that.
But then we were also talking about, speaking of Halloween, we're talking about great Halloween costumes and then tragic Halloween costumes. What's
Yeah.
one of your best?
Well, definitely one of my best was when I dressed up like a gypsy. So cute. I'm gonna have to find that picture now. So adorable. One of the worst though, I don't know if you remember this, but back in the day, they used to have those plastic masks. Remember?
Yeah.
The ones that you had trouble breathing in and it smelled like plastic and you were just like,
Yeah, you're like, I can't.
and it had the two holes cut out. Crazy.
Yeah, it's like
And
all the condensation is building up.
oh, the condensation, and you're like walking around like, I'm happy, but I'm not really happy. I'm not comfortable.
I'm supposed to be happy.
Yeah. So it was Cinderella. It was like a Cinderella mask, and I mean it was like, I don't know. It was just kind of subpar.
Yeah.
It wasn't like creative. I like the costumes that you build from the ground up. You know what I'm saying? Like, oh, I have a towel and I have like, and then
Broom.
you put something together, you throw something together.
My mom was good at that growing up.
And but the other, yeah. My mom was quite good at helping me sort out some costumes. There was one time though I went as a ghost, and it was literally a white sheet with two eyes cut and like a little rope around my neck, like in a little bow.
Oh my god.
No, it's weird though. Like,
No. All right, well, I'll tell you.
okay, tell me yours. Tell me yours.
telling this story today. I have a very interesting relationship with Halloween. I love it. It was my grandfather's favorite holiday. We used to give out the best candy on our block. Everybody would come from all over Great Neck to come to our block because my grandfather was infamous for giving out candy to even the best costumes. He would give out money. Like, he loved Halloween.
Oh,
So, as a kid, our house was the house. One year, and I was telling the story today to somebody because they were like, how do you feel about Halloween? I said, I love it, but this is my Halloween summed up. I couldn't go into like a party city without screaming until I was about 15.
oh God.
Fear was real. I didn't trust that one of those figures wasn't gonna like magically reach out and grab me. Who knows? I wasn't comfortable. So I would walk into Party City and I would just hold my breath. I'd be like, okay, just go straight to the happy aisle, find something cute, and get out. That was my mission. And finally, one year, I was like, I think I was like 14, hadn't reached the big 15 yet, so I was still a little scared. And I went as a witch, and I just put like a cute little costume together from home. And I had on these really awesome boots that I got from Payless. I thought I was so cool. They had the pointy toe with the back and the heel. Oh, I was feeling myself. So I went to trick or treat at my friend's house. She lived down the block and around the corner. So it was a good walk to get to her house. I went to her house. I rang the bell. Her father opened the door and he jumped out and he was wearing a gorilla mask. He jumped out and my instinct was just scream and run. I dropped everything on their front porch. I ran down the stairs in these like 6-inch heels and I ran all the way around the corner and down the block and home, and I didn't stop until I got there.
Oh my God, Nikki, that is absolutely extreme. That is like
extremist.
Look. How are you going to survive this thing coming up?
Well, that's just the thing, you guys. I'm going to do an event October, and I'm going to be doing a guided walk through a haunted mansion.
Yeah.
I'm going to need a lot of prayers. So all of you start praying now to whoever you believe in. I don't care who it is. Pray. Just start now because you're going to get a FaceTime before I go.
Oh, I know. I know. It wouldn't surprise me if you took me through the thing with you.
I've slowly been trying to rope somebody into coming with me. Like I'm literally bribing my friends. I'm like, "Will you meet me in Virginia?" Because
I totally would go. You know why, Nikki? Because I like a good scare. I do. And I mean, it's my sister's favorite holiday, and it's my second favorite holiday, but not really, like I like it, but I'm not like,
Amy, let's face it, we like it
like
because we can eat
super into
chocolate
it
and it's an
anymore, but
excuse to eat chocolate.
and we yeah, yes, yes, yes. And we get to dress up, and it's really the actor's holiday, isn't it? I
So
mean,
true.
we're basically just doing the thing.
On the set of Hairspray, we had a massive Halloween party, and I think that's when I had one of my best costumes. I went as Cleopatra. My
Oh my
wardrobe
God.
designer, he made me a dress by hand, and I actually got the hairstylist Judy Cooper Seeley. She had done the Cleopatra wig for the Maya music video, so she let me wear it on Halloween. It was so cool. That was fun. But you know who won Halloween that year?
No.
It was neck and neck. It was between Anthony Carr and my mother.
Oh, Anthony.
Anthony came as Flavor Flav and he shut it down. Like he shut the entire party down. Everybody
Oh
was
my God.
dying laughing. It was the best. He had a massive clock around his neck. I was like, oh my gosh, maybe you'll be on time now, sir. I mean, I love him so much. He was just guys who I was staying with in California. He's one of my best friends. He's from the movie Hairspray. And when he showed up at this Halloween party at our director's house, he just owned it. He owned the night. But then the doorbell rang, and in walked my mother, dressed as Tracy and Edna. Like she had the Tracy wig, but she had Edna's. Oh yeah, she had the Edna robe. Amy, there were no words. I had no words.
Oh my God,
I was
though.
like,
Wow. Yeah. Like, how can you top that? How
yeah,
could you top
no,
that?
you can't. I was like, well, I just may as
Of
well go
course,
home
then there
now.
was a tie, right? They tied then.
I mean, I think everybody, there was a lot of alcohol served at that party. I wasn't drinking. So by the time it was time to announce a winner, we were all winners.
I get it. Sure. I mean, that works. I mean, there doesn't always have to be a winner.
Oh,
Just have
gosh, as
fun.
we're
Have a
finding
good
out.
time.
Speaking of winners, I don't know where that was going.
Oh,
I
no,
mean,
we were talking about
but I was just going to say, very quickly, speaking of winners, I was going to say I want to encourage everybody to get out there and vote. You and I are very, very passionate. So
yeah,
we're passionate about politics, and we don't want to push our agenda on you guys. But what we're saying is, if you want to see a change, go out and vote this election day, please.
it's so important. It's so important. Our democracy depends on it.
So, I think there's a lot of interesting things going on in the world right now,
Oh yeah.
especially COVID
God.
is adding like a new.
It's an extra layer of ah
Yeah. Yeah. I
yeah.
mean, everything
It's
it's changed.
stressful.
It's changed a lot of things, but I think like you were saying, it brought a lot of people closer together. I know with the podcast I've gotten to speak to people that I maybe wouldn't have spoken to, or and I think it's forced a lot of people to figure out things about themselves.
I think so
Um,
too. Like you become more introspective almost,
yeah,
right? Because you're basically, kind of cut off a bit, right?
yeah,
Especially in the first couple of weeks, remember? Everybody was like, "Oh my God, I don't want to leave the house and this and
yeah,
that." Right? And it was very scary. I remember, Nikki, do you remember when I actually felt ill and I went to the hospital, and I remembered going there with Dan, and Dan Dan got in trouble with his, person. First they said, "Okay, go to the hospital."
yeah,
And then they said, "No, you shouldn't have gone." I mean, nobody really knew anything.
yeah,
They were still trying to figure things out. Like, what was this that we're dealing with? And I remembered seeing the doctors like like they were checking out the tent that we were, because it was an outside area.
Mm.
Nikki, it was super scary.
I mean, I've heard stories of women having to give birth out in the parking lot. I mean,
Yeah,
it's
it's so
been an
scary.
intense time.
Yeah, it is. I think, like what you said, though, it's added an extra layer on top of what is going on right now in the
Well, I've
world.
seen, but as sad as it is, I've
Everything's
seen a
got
lot of
people.
couples get married during the
Yeah,
quarantine. I've been doing my
yeah,
cameos, and I've been getting ones that saying we're getting married even though it's a quarantine, and
yeah,
we want to have this video. So, I mean, a lot of good things have
yeah,
happened. A lot of,
yeah,
I mean, but also, like I said, we've learned things about ourselves, and
yeah,
I think for me, I've learned a lot of about myself, and I think a lot of self-respect was built for me in the
yeah,
past, year.
yeah.
It's interesting to.
I have seen that. I have seen your personal growth, and I find it so motivating and just so refreshing to see, just like the change has been so positive, and
I thought
that to
30 was going
me.
to be an interesting year, but everybody's always like, oh, 25, 30. For me, I've never been somebody who like does things right on the nose. So like
Yeah,
31 was the year for me. And I can't believe that in 2 months, 2 months and 3 days, I will be 32.
you're still a baby.
Oh my gosh. When I watch, but like I'll see Hairspray come on the TV, like, and
Yeah.
I'm flipping through and I'm like,
Oh my goodness, was
like,
that
wow.
then? Yeah. Yeah, right? It's a time capsule.
Yes,
It's
it's
a
a
time
time
capsule.
warp, but at the same time, I'm like, well, at least somebody captured what I look like at 17. I know that that was there then, and whatever happens, the wrinkles that come. But I always say this, we are in a pretty vain business,
Yeah, we
and
are.
they're always like, "Are you gonna do this to your face?" And I'm like, "Hey, look, I have earned every expression line. That means I have lived, I have laughed, I've definitely cried, but you get what I'm saying?"
I do. But you're right though. This business, unfortunately, that's kind of like I call it the ugly side of the business. I think, it's not always nice because, we're constantly being compared to this and this one and this, and really what we give is so much more than our physical appearance. We give our heart and soul to the projects that we do. And so a lot of times, they say, oh, can you change your hair color? Okay, that's fine.
Right.
Oh, can you change your nose? Not so easy to do. Why
Yeah.
would I do that anyhow? All right. So you know what I'm saying.
Yeah.
It's tough. It's tough.
There's
So
a lot of you're to this, you're not enough that, but then I
that's what
always
I'm
say,
getting
and
at.
it's just like relationships, you're
Yeah.
gonna be just right for something
Yeah.
and somebody. You know,
Exactly.
I feel like my life is a lot, and I always say in dating, I'm like, look, I know my life's a lot. But then somebody said to me recently, no, you're not a lot. They said, your circumstances, there's a lot going on around you.
Yes.
They said, but you're not a lot, and the right person is going to realize that someday. So who knows where she is? I don't
Yeah.
know. But
Well, I mean, I have said that though too, Nikki. I mean, that you've got so much to give, and you're such a light. And your circumstances, the fact that you are a celebrity, that's a whole nother layer,
well,
right? That's a
like
whole nother layer.
we were talking about something this morning. This was an interesting exchange. Somebody messaged me on an app, and they said to me that it was on, I think it was TikTok, and they were like, "Oh, well, I can't believe you responded or whatever." And I told my friend, and they're totally laughing about this. And thanks
Mm,
for the fun this morning. And I'm like, first of all, why does that sound like some weird exchange went down? Thanks for the
right.
fun. This I was like, I I liked your TikTok. That all right. Okay, we made it sound like something totally off base, but at
Yeah,
the same time, I was like literally just trying to be nice, and then
yeah.
I was like, well, why would you say it like so? I never really know
It
people
sounded kind of
respond to
ooky
me
when you,
interestingly.
yeah.
They
You
thank
just want to be a person, because that's what you are. Uh, uh, so, I mean, like I told you a long time ago, I understand, but at the same time, I can't fully understand. But it's got to be really frustrating and infuriating to know that you can't 100% always you always have that kind of a guard up, that there's always going to be a little bit of a guard up because this is the thing that you deal with.
well, what it makes me do is it makes me cherish the relationships in my life that I don't
Yeah,
have to question.
yeah, yeah,
And that's you, and that's my manager Allison, and that's Gino, and so it's those people in my life that I go, okay, I know no matter what's going on,
yeah,
anything, I can call you guys up, and you guys don't care about hairspray, you care, oh, what's going on over there in Nikki Land.
yeah. I
And that means more to me than you guys will ever know, because um, it's unfortunate. I've with this show, I've even tried to like, let's have some fun new people, and like, and then people have tried to just social climb, and that is painful, and
yeah,
they don't
yeah,
realize that we are just humans, and we sometimes we just want to help or be there or be treated as such, and just it's
yeah,
never cool to like walk on somebody just to get ahead, because at the end of the day, where's that gonna get you? You're gonna have to show up with your own talent anyway. Like you
yeah,
can't
absolutely.
bank on somebody else. Like you can't show up and then be like, and then my voice
uh,
is magically gonna come out. It doesn't work like
right.
that.
It's so true though, Nikki. It's
It's
so
like
true.
catfishing.
Yeah,
We've talked
exactly.
about this, about
Yeah.
how people on the dating apps are like, it can't be you.
Oh my God, that's so
I
annoying.
think I'm
It's
being
so
catfished. I'm like, oh my god.
yeah.
I'm
We've
like,
had so
you
many
do
conversations
realize
about
though,
that
even
happening.
with catfishes, I'm like, you guys do realize that if I am a catfish, when you meet up with quote unquote me, you do realize that the person, it's not like, if the person is not me, you're, hello, like, why would I spend all this time?
It's literally next level crazy. It really is. Like the stories that you have told me, some of these stories, I'm like, no, no, that can't be right. That can't be true. And you're like, oh, yes. Remember when I told you to download the other app because I thought maybe you would find somebody
Amy,
that
oh God. And then I downloaded the app, and that morning it
can
charged me for
charge you.
the
And I was like,
so she tells me to download this app because it seems like people have more solid foundation relationships from this.
yeah, seems
Okay, I
okay.
download the app, and it says the next morning I go to sign on, and it says put your thumb here or whatever and sign into your phone. I do that. It charges me for the premium package $150, and I'm like,
Oh man.
I don't need a premium package to this.com. I'm like,
I mean, Jesus, right? I was like,
and I didn't even meet anybody.
no, I know. That also was the shit. I was like, no, God,
I mean, for $150.
you would think, for that many clams. I mean, it's just a little ditty.
Oh my God. So you guys, Amy was gonna fill you in on something about me that not a lot of people know.
Yeah.
Who is somebody that I have to listen to once a day?
John Cougar
Oh,
Mellencamp.
yes.
A little ditty about Jack and Diane. We
Yes.
talk about a little ditty. We talk about mixing and mingling. We talk about,
Amy and I, we have
what
our
we're
old
drinking in the
things.
morning. We're kind of old people, but I, let
We
let's just say that yes, I'm a little older than Nikki, 20 years, but maybe a little older than that. But it doesn't matter. We're kind of like in the bracket, right? We could still play sisters like we're planning to with this movie, but or cousins rather. Um, but yeah, I mean we do talk very like we talk like elderly people,
we
like
do. And we
very
I one
elderly.
day I was getting ready to go out and I was like, "Hey Ames, how do I look?" And I
But
think you I think you
it's your grandmother's influence. It's your grandmother's influence, and it's the fact that we both like Golden Girls.
literally they're on my walls. I have posters of
Yeah,
them.
yeah.
And so you FaceTimed me one night and I think you had your rollers in and your little house coat
Yes.
and I was getting ready to go out and you said, "Oh, where are you going?" I said, "I'm going out tonight." And you said, "You're gonna go mix and mingle?" I said,
I did
"Yes."
say that.
You said mix and
Maybe
mingle and then you also said, "Oh, well, you're gonna have a nice time."
a nice time.
I was dying. These are like the inside jokes. They make my day. And now we've added poor John Mellencamp in there. He has no idea.
No, he has no idea how much of an influence he has on your life,
He
Nikki.
doesn't. He has a massive, his music. I'm telling you what, I could be in any mood and I just need a little wow, nights this morning. I mean, come on. It's everything. When I was out in LA, this young guy, a friend of mine's friend, he was a dancer as well, and he was like, "So you were in his car, and he goes, so what have you been listening to lately?" And I'm like, this kid was like maybe 20, and I'm
Oh
like,
yeah. Oh yeah.
he had no idea that I even acted and sang. Like he was just like, "What music are you into?" And I was like, "John Mellencamp," and he was like, "Who?" And I said, "John Cougar Mellencamp," and I was like, "Oh no,
Cougar.
no." I went right on my Spotify and I looked at him. I said, "Listen, if you're going to learn anything this week while I am here, you're going to take away the music of John Mellencamp after
Oh
my."
my God. Truly, truly.
He now listens to John Cougar.
Well, see, you turn them on to the right,
Yes.
artist. I mean, you can't go wrong with John Cougar Mellencamp. You just can't.
Who's somebody that you go to when you need a little titty?
Well, I am a child of the 80s, so I tend to go new wave, like anything new wave. You got your Depeche Mode, you got your um, The Cure,
You do love your ABBA
you
though
got
too.
your Flock of Seagulls. Huh?
You do
I
love your.
love Aha. Yeah. I I love all the really cool, you know, 80s new wave type of music. But I'm pretty eclectic though, Nikki. I mean, I my normal go-to in the morning is jazz and classical music.
Mm.
Smooth jazz. Uh Older jazz, John Coltrane, uh Duke Ellington, the greats, you know.
I think that was the room that I messed up. I think it was the Duke Ellington room that I stayed in at the ranch that I was telling you about.
Oh
It's in
God,
the book. I tell this story, you guys. I had an audition at Skywalker Ranch,
I
and
can't
I
believe
stayed
that.
in a room. I believe it was a Duke Ellington room. It was the most gorgeous room, and the one thing I forgot at home was my razor. And the main guy there, he was the chief of the fire department. He asked me if there was anything I needed while I was there for my audition, and I said no. Just the one thing I left was my razor at home. He handed me a disposable razor. I went up to the Duke Ellington room and I went to unpack. I said, let me take my nightly shower. And all of a sudden, I nicked myself in the shower, didn't know it.
Nikki nicked.
Nikki nicked. I walked out, and the white carpet, it looked like there was just a massacre in there.
Yeah, psycho.
Yeah. Literally.
Yeah.
I was like, oh my gosh. So yeah, whenever I hear Duke Ellington or jazz, my mind literally goes right to that
Your mind immediately goes to that time.
that I destroyed a room at Skywalker Ranch with my.
Oh my God.
But they got it out.
I mean, yeah. I mean, they probably ended up like just replacing the carpet anyhow that day.
Right, sure. Well,
Yeah.
it was an experience, and
Probably
I
some
mean,
sort of like Star Trek carpet. Maybe with, I don't know, asteroids.
maybe, who
He
knows?
probably wanted to redo it.
Probably. I
Yeah.
just needed to give them the push. They needed the push.
That's it. They were waiting for you.
Oh my gosh.
What could go wrong?
I look back on my life sometimes, Ames, and I say this to you all the time. Whose life is this?
Whose life is this? And you're also famous for breaking tables.
Yep.
You break tables. I dance on tables. You break them.
Oh my gosh. Okay. So one
This is insane.
I have a thing with tables. So when I got nominated for the Golden Globe, I threw a table out of excitement. It didn't break. However, I will tell you guys.
But you threw the table, so.
I threw it.
You threw it.
But I did finally break a table in California.
You did.
Oh my God. It was at Anthony's apartment.
Poor Anthony.
So
he's like,
guys. And you know what's amazing is he's asking me to come back. And I'm like,
I
broke your dining room table.
Got another table for you. It's just run. We installed it.
I love you so much that you actually want me to come back after this.
I mean, but let's
what happened was I
couldn't
get on the internet. And me not getting on the internet is like, that causes palpitations.
Yeah.
So I was like, Anthony, I can't get on the internet. So he said, oh, hold on, let me check the modem. He goes to check the modem. He leans over me. He goes, well, you didn't unplug the modem. You unplugged the whole electrical panel. I was like, whoops. So,
whoops.
So he goes to get behind me to plug it in the wall. His foot got caught on the table, the coffee table, and it wobbled. And all of a sudden, you just... and all the legs go out, all the books that were on the shelves in between fall out, and I just see this thing crumble into pieces.
Yeah.
And I'm like, no.
But technically, though, was it really your fault, though? I mean, he just had to lean over you. So
the internet went out. I'm going to blame it on the internet.
Also valid.
So I said to him, I looked at him and I started picking everything up, and because I didn't know, I was like, oh my God, anybody else in my life probably would be like, what just happened? Lose their mind on me. So I started picking it up, putting everything in piles, and he looked at me, he said, it was going to break anyway. It was going.
See, it was already on its way out. You just helped the process along.
And if I didn't love him before for saying that, I was like, my God, you really know me. And because I thanked him, because, it's so easy for everybody. It's easy for people to lose their tempers. And he was so kind. And I was just like, anybody else's table that I would have broken probably wouldn't have gone over so well.
You could break my tables. I'm like, just get another one. Oh my God, we should totally go on an IKEA field trip and see what happens. Can you make it out of can you make it through IKEA without breaking a table? Kind of like a little maze.
Maybe that's the next podcast.
Oh my God. Seriously, like we should like.
Me are going to go to IKEA. She's going to what you're gonna do is you're gonna set out a little trail for me before I go in. You're gonna have my favorite Tootsie Rolls at the end, and if I
Yes,
make it through the maze without breaking a table, I get lime Tootsie Rolls.
you get the whole bag because nobody else would eat it anyhow. Literally. So I'm
So
just
true.
gonna send you a whole bag of this now. Well, I mean, it's good to know these things. Like, I don't know, do you do that? Do you keep notes on your friends on I everything is on my phone.
Yeah.
Like uh Dan's shirt size, my sister's favorite color socks,
Oh my God.
Nikki's favorite candy, for example,
I'm so glad I made
things
it
like
in.
that.
Well,
Oh no,
yeah.
you're already in there, like for other things too. So, but that's neither here nor there.
Well, I do take notes though. But
Yeah,
mental, like I remember when your birthday was coming, I was like, I need to send something chocolate. I don't know.
that was so sweet. My God.
And I was
You
like,
sent me
something chocolate.
chocolate, you sent me a cake, you sent me flowers. Oh my God. It was like Christmas just came early
If
that
you
year.
made chocolate covered flowers, I would have sent those.
Mm.
That didn't land. Um, but I want,
I would have pulled the chocolate off of the flowers.
well,
But
that's what I thought would happen.
it was very sweet though, Nick. And I ate that whole damn cake by myself, I will say.
Oh my
Dan
gosh.
was
Well,
like,
these are the things, I know you like chocolate. You know I like pistachio pudding. And now
I
we
know.
know. I'm
Yeah.
telling you, craft service at our next shoot is going to be poppin'.
It's gonna be
Just
we're gonna raise
literally,
the roof
it's
on
all
that.
it's going to be is coffee, chocolate, and pistachio jello pudding.
Basically. Hey, we don't ask for much.
We don't.
We really don't.
But I will ask you this. Will you be my best friend forever?
Duh.
No.
Of course.
Well, thank you for
Only if
doing
you'll
this.
be mine. Only if you'll be mine. Come on.
Well, of course. Does
Come on.
Santa Claus eat cookies? Yes.
Does
I want to be your best friend forever. Yes, it's
does
that
the
simple.
Easter bunny shit out eggs?
I hope not the Cadbury eggs, because those are another one of my favorites.
Okay, we agree on Cadbury eggs.
Cadbury's great chocolate.
Oh my God. Oh my God, yes.
Speaking of,
Cadbury and Lindt and
when I was in Switzerland, my lawyer made me bring home chocolate. And I was like, I'm just bringing you home Lindt. Like,
yeah.
I walked into the store and all it was Lindt. And I was like, I came all the way to Switzerland to buy it. All right, I'll buy it here.
Or at Target.
Or at Target.
Here you go. Oh my God. Honestly, though, Nick, I don't know. I don't know what to do. But, obviously, yes, we're best friends for life. So,
And where can everybody find you on the socials, ma'am?
On the socials, I'm at. Oh my God. You can visit my website at amyhoerler.com.
Yes.
And that has the links to everything. Or just on my IMDb.
I love it.
Or whatever. I mean.
Well, I mean.
Okay, should I spell it?
At least you're back on. At least you're on the socials.
I am. And I will say this, Nikki, you have to get back on Instagram more often.
I'm going to try. I'm going to see.
More often.
All right.
I miss like tagging you in things and sending you things, and like you used to respond right away. Now it's like
I'm a rapid responder.
No.
Like I'm one of the, and I think that's what gets me in trouble when people don't respond to me, because I respond so quickly, and when people like take hours, I'm like, what are you doing over there?
You know what? It's because it's true though. I've noticed that about you. You're a go-getter. You're like boom, 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 boom. I'm not gonna wait. I'm gonna, and that's what it takes though. You have to be that way.
You
You
gotta
know,
go
you
hunt
have
it.
to actually, do it. You have to do, you have to actually be your own best agent, your own best
Advocate. Yep.
advocate. Like you have
And
to
that's what
be
I tell everybody, not just in this business, but you have to be your own advocate in life. You
in
want
life.
something,
In
go
life.
for it. Ask,
Yeah.
put
Yeah.
the work in.
Yeah. And like I said, and like you said, and then sometimes along the way you find some real gems, and then you keep those gems by your side, and that's what you do. But you've been killing it, my friend. I am so proud of you.
Well,
I
thank
am
you.
so proud, and I feel like this year, as scary and unpredictable and wild as it's also been very good in ways. And I think that there's like less tragedy and more goodness.
We'll see. The night's still young.
The night's still young. I Yeah.
Well,
Okay,
I
there
love
has
you.
been a lot of tragedy in this year, but
But what I've learned
go
is
for it.
that you have to be hopeful and you have to
You do.
be positive, and you've helped me see that.
Aw, Nikki. Well, I have to say the same thing about you. So
Well,
thank you for being in my corner and cheering me on and stepping in and helping me out. And I just, I just love talking to you. That's
I love
for me.
talking to you, and I can't wait to work with you.
Oh
That
my God.
again, that's going to be so fun.
Yeah, we'll actually have a scene together
I,
because we actually met at the Florida International Film
I
Festival
know we filmed a whole movie just on separate schedules. That's
on
what's so
separate
crazy.
schedules. That's right. And I knew who you were, but we were just like kindred spirits when we met. I was like, but it's not fair. She lives in New York. She has to go back to New York, and I just met her, and it's just like this instant connection I had with you. And Nikki, you really are just one of the most genuine people that I've ever met.
Thank you.
And you wear your heart on your sleeve, and you are so sensitive. You are like an empath. This is why we do what we do, because we're very similar in that regard.
So true. And that's what not a lot of people know about me. I think a lot of people see like the business side or the acting side, but I am super sensitive, and
Yeah, you are.
you get to see that side, and you've walked me through more of those situations than anybody else. So
Well,
just
I
having
only
you in my
know
life
from,
means so much.
well, I mean, I only know from, what I go through too, and hopefully give advice that has helped me in the past. And you know
Well, what I always hope is that younger actors are going to watch this podcast or hear our stories, and even if a quarter of the struggle that we went through shows them that it's worth it in the end.
that's right. That's right.
Doing our
That's right, Nikki. Yeah, and you have to absolutely follow your passion, follow your purpose, and really, the best thing to do is find somebody like a Bert or a Nikki or an Adam that can encourage you to live out your dreams. Find a mentor. Mentors are important.
yes, and even if it's somebody, and also just find something that drives you through the day, even if it's John Cougar Mellencamp.
Even if it's John Cougar Mellencamp.
I love you, my best friend.
I love you more.
I'll see you later. Bye. Oh my gosh, it's so funny because I never know. I forget to leave meetings at the end as well. That was so fun. It's so fun to I wanted to do this episode because I wanted you guys to get, everybody thinks they know a lot about me, but I bet you didn't think that I love lime fruit chews. My favorite pudding is pistachio jello. I think it's important to show these different sides of yourself, and you guys got to see the goofy side of me tonight. Amy and I, honestly, Life has been wild this summer. It hasn't been easy. It's been hard for all of us. But if you all are lucky enough to have Amy in your life, then you can get through anything, and I promise you that. And I'm your friend as well. So thank you for all tuning into Nikki Nights and for watching and listening and for supporting me. And Amy and I can't wait to give you a great movie to tune into soon. So with that being said, thanks Ames for chatting with me tonight, and I'll see you all very soon. Good night.